Part 1. The Smart Man, named Faustus. In the city of Wittenberg, Germany, there lived a man named Dr. Faustus. People knew him as a man of great intelligence. He was not just a normal student. He was a doctor of learning, someone who had studied deeply and wisely. Faustus had spent many years reading books. He had studied philosophy, thinking about life, law, rules of a country, medicine, how to heal people, and theology, the study of God and religion. People respected him a lot. He was called a genius and a great scholar. Young students listened to him carefully. Rich and powerful people came to him for advice. Everyone thought Faustus had everything a man could want: knowledge, success, respect, and a good name. But Faustus was not happy. Even with all his learning, something inside him felt empty. He looked at all his books and said to himself, "I have studied everything that a man can study, but I am still not satisfied. I want more than this. I want to know secrets that normal people can't know. I want to control the world. I want power. I want to learn magic." Faustus thought philosophy was boring. He said, "Philosophy is just thinking and talking. It does not change the world." He thought medicine was helpful, but it had limits. He said, "I can heal people, yes, but I cannot bring back the dead. I cannot stop death. So what is the use?" He looked at law books and said, "Law is just full of lies and tricks. People use it to fight and win arguments. I do not want this." He looked at religion and said, "I have read the Bible. It says we are all sinners. It says we cannot be saved unless God chooses us. That makes me sad. So why should I study more of this?" Then Faustus had a dangerous thought. He remembered something he had heard before, about a kind of magic that could give him supernatural powers. He remembered reading old books that spoke of people who could command spirits, move through the air, and change nature. This was not simple magic tricks. It was black magic, the kind of magic that called evil spirits and worked with devils. Most people were afraid of black magic. It was said to be a sin against God. Those who practiced it were said to go to hell. But Faustus was not afraid. Or maybe he was too proud to feel fear. He smiled and said to himself, "If I learn black magic, I can do anything. I can be more powerful than kings. I can fly to the stars. I can be like a god." So Faustus made up his mind. He closed his holy books and opened the books of black magic. He called two men who were known for using such magic, Faustus and Cornelius. These two men were not wise like Faustus, but they were skilled in dark arts. Faustus welcomed them to his house and said, "My friends, I want to learn what you know. Teach me how to speak to spirits. Teach me how to do the impossible." Faustus smiled and said, "Faustus, with your brain and our knowledge, you can become greater than anyone. Spirits will serve you. The world will fear you." Cornelius added, "Yes, and with your power, you can even raise the dead, become invisible, or bring gold from anywhere." Faustus was excited. He said, "Then teach me." "I want to begin now." Faustus and Cornelius agreed. They said they would help him learn the words, symbols, and signs used to call evil spirits. But they also warned him, once he started, There was no turning back. Faustus did not care. He laughed and said, "I want to go as far as I can. I do not fear hell. I do not fear God. I want power." Not everyone was happy about Faustus's decision. His friends, the scholars at the university, began to notice changes in him. He stopped coming to class. He stayed in his room with strange books. He avoided the church. He looked tired and spoke strangely. One kind friend came to him and asked, "Faustus, why are you doing this? You are so wise. You could teach people. You could help the world. Why turn to evil magic?" Faustus smiled coldly and said, "The world is too small for me. I want more than what books can give." The friend looked sad and left, praying that Faustus would change before it was too late. Late one night, Faustus sat alone in his study. The candles were burning low. The wind outside made a soft, howling sound. The room was quiet, but Faustus's mind was full of loud thoughts. He opened the book of black magic. He looked at the strange words and symbols. Some pages had signs of the devil, some had circles with stars, and some had unknown languages. He took a piece of chalk and drew a magic circle on the floor. He lit black candles and stood in the center. He began to speak the dark words written in the book. He spoke with a loud and firm voice. His hands moved in strange ways. Suddenly the wind blew harder. The flames flickered. The room became cold. As he continued to read the spell, the room shook lightly. Then there was a flash of red light. A loud thunder roared in the sky. Faustus stopped. He felt fear, but he did not stop the ritual. The air in the room grew heavy. The walls seemed to move. Then something appeared. It was a shadow, a figure tall and dark. It was not a man. It was a devil. His name was Mephistopheles. He had a cold smile and burning eyes. His voice was deep and calm. Faustus had done it. He had opened the door to the other world. Now Faustus stands face to face with a real devil. He has tasted the power of magic. He has begun the path that many fear. But what will happen when he asks for more? What price will he have to pay? And will he still be able to turn back? Part 2. The Deal with the Devil. In the cold and dark room, Faustus stood still. A strange wind blew. The candles shook. The air was heavy and full of fear. And there he was, the devil Faustus had called. His name was Mephistopheles. He had a dark face, red eyes, and a proud smile. He wore rich clothes, but he looked evil. Fire seemed to glow from inside him. Faustus was not afraid. He felt proud. He said, "Welcome, Mephistopheles. I have called you, and you have come. Now you will be my servant." But Mephistopheles laughed. "I did not come because you called me. I came because you spoke the devil's words. When anyone speaks those words, we come. That is our duty." Faustus was surprised. "Then you are not here to serve me?" Mephistopheles looked at Faustus and said, "I do not serve you. I serve Lucifer, the ruler of hell. If you want me to obey you, you must first make a deal with my master." Faustus became serious. He wanted power, and he was ready to do anything for it. He said, "Then take this message to Lucifer. Tell him that I am ready to give him my soul. In return, he must give me Mephistopheles as my servant. For 24 years, Mephistopheles must do everything I say. After 24 years, Lucifer can take my soul." Mephistopheles nodded slowly. "I will tell him. But think carefully, Faustus. Once you make this deal, you can never take it back." Faustus laughed. "I have already made my decision. I want this. Go now. Bring me the answer." Mephistopheles disappeared in a flash of fire. Faustus stood in the dark, waiting. His heart was beating fast. Soon Mephistopheles returned. He brought a message from Lucifer. "Lucifer agrees," he said. "He will give you all the power you want. But first, you must write and sign a contract. You must sign it with your own blood." Faustus took a knife. He cut his arm. Blood came out slowly. He wrote his name on the paper. But suddenly, something strange happened. The blood stopped flowing. Faustus was confused. Why did it stop? What does it mean? Mephistopheles gave him fire to warm his hand. The blood began to flow again. Faustus wrote his name, John Faustus. Then, as he looked at the paper, he saw strange words appear on his arm. Homo fuge, Latin. Man, run away. Faustus looked at the words and felt a little afraid, but he shook his head. No. "I will not run. I want this. I want power." He gave the signed paper to Mephistopheles. The deal was complete. After the deal was signed, Mephistopheles gave Faustus special clothes, books of spells, and magic powers. Now Faustus could call spirits, move through the air, see faraway places, change shapes, make gold appear, become invisible. Faustus smiled. He felt powerful. "Now I am stronger than any man on earth. Now I am great." Suddenly Faustus heard two voices in his head. One voice was soft and kind. The other was dark and proud. Good angel said, "Faustus, stop now. Tear the contract. Say sorry. God will forgive you." Evil angel said, "Don't listen to that voice. You have power now. Use it. You can be rich. You can be famous. Why go back?" Faustus listened carefully. He chose to listen to the evil angel. "Too late now," he said. "I have made my deal. I cannot stop." Faustus started asking many questions. He wanted to know everything. He asked Mephistopheles, "Where is hell? Is there really a devil? What is the soul? Who made the world?" Mephistopheles answered some questions, but not all. When Faustus asked, "Who made the world?" Mephistopheles became silent. He did not want to say God. Faustus was angry and said, "Tell me." But Mephistopheles said, "Do not speak of God. I cannot say his name." Faustus became thoughtful. He asked himself, why is he afraid to say God's name? Is God stronger than Lucifer? Again he heard the voice of the good angel. "It is not too late, Faustus. You can still turn back." But the evil angel said, "You are too far now. Hell waits for you." Faustus felt confused, but he still did not say sorry. Faustus now had power, but he did not use it for great things. He traveled the world with Mephistopheles. They flew in the air. They saw kingdoms, deserts, oceans, and cities. He visited Rome where the Pope lived. There, Faustus played tricks. He became invisible and hit the Pope on the head, stole food from his table, made the priests fall down. The people were shocked, but Faustus laughed. He said, "I have power. I am like a god." But inside his heart, he felt a little empty. Later, Faustus went to visit the Emperor of Germany. The Emperor had heard of Faustus's magic and wanted to see it. The Emperor said, "Show me a spirit from history. Show me Alexander the Great." Faustus called a spirit. The shape of Alexander the Great appeared. The Emperor was amazed. Everyone clapped and praised Faustus, but some people laughed and said, "Faustus is just a trickster. These are not real spirits." Faustus became angry. He used his magic to punish them by making horns grow from their heads. People feared Faustus now. They respected him, not with love, but with fear. One day an old man came to visit Faustus. He looked at Faustus with kind eyes and said, "You still have time. God is kind. Say sorry. Tear the contract. God will save you." Faustus felt tears in his eyes. His hands began to shake. He wanted to speak, but fear stopped him. Mephistopheles appeared and looked at him with burning eyes. "If you say sorry, I will break your body into pieces." Faustus was afraid. He fell to the ground and begged Mephistopheles, "Please don't hurt me. I will stay with you. I will not leave you." To show that he was still loyal, Faustus did something terrible. He took a fresh paper and wrote another promise. "I give my soul to Lucifer forever." He signed it again with his blood. Now Faustus had less and less time. The 24 years were passing quickly. Sometimes he tried to forget about the end. He made jokes. He traveled. He called spirits for fun. He gave magic shows to kings and nobles, but every night he dreamed of hell. He saw fire. He saw devils. He saw his own soul crying. The good angel came to him again and again. "You can still be saved, Faustus." But Faustus shook his head. "I cannot. I have gone too far." His heart was now full of fear, but also pride. One night Faustus sat alone. He looked at the stars. The wind was cold. The sky was dark. He whispered, "What is a soul? Why is it so valuable? Why does the devil want it? And why did I give it away so easily?" But there was no answer. The candles burned low. The silence grew deep. Faustus had power, but now he felt more alone than ever. Faustus is now reaching the end of his 24 years. The time is coming when Lucifer will return. What will happen on the final night? Will Faustus say sorry and ask for mercy? Or will the devils take his soul to hell forever? Part 3, The Last Night of Dr. Faustus. The sky was dark and the wind was cold. Faustus sat in his room, looking at the candlelight. He was alone, and his face was full of fear. He said to himself, "Tonight is the last night. When the clock strikes midnight, the devil will come. He will take my soul to hell." He walked up and down the room. He could not sit still. His hands were shaking. What will happen to me? Will I burn forever? Will I be in pain forever? He looked at the stars and cried, "Oh, time, stop moving! Make this night longer! Let the sun rise again and give me more hours!" But time did not stop. Suddenly the old man came again. He had a kind face and spoke gently. "Faustus, there is still time. You are not dead yet. Say sorry. Ask God to forgive you. Even now he is ready to help." Faustus cried, "I want to say sorry, but I am too afraid. The devils will come for me." The old man replied, "Fear them not. They cannot hurt your soul if you give it back to God." Faustus held his head and shouted, "I can't. I have given my soul away. I made a deal. I signed it with blood." But the old man said, "Tear the paper, throw it into the fire, kneel down and pray. You can still be saved." For a moment Faustus felt hope. But then Mephistopheles appeared again. His face was angry. Fire burned in his eyes. He said to the old man, "Go away! You cannot save him now. His soul is mine." The old man calmly smiled and said, "You have no power over me. I have faith in God." Then he looked at Faustus one last time. "I leave you with this choice. Say sorry and live forever in peace, or stay silent and burn forever." The old man left. Faustus fell to his knees, but he did not pray. The clock struck 9. Only 3 hours left. Faustus called his friends, the scholars, to his room. They were surprised to see him so sad. They asked, "Faustus, what is wrong? Why do you look so afraid?" Faustus told them the truth. "My dear friends, I have done a terrible thing. I gave my soul to the devil for 24 years of magic, and now the time is almost over." The scholars were shocked. "Can we help you?" Faustus said. "You cannot help me now, but please go to the next room. Pray for me. Pray for my soul." The scholars left with tears in their eyes. They began to pray. The room grew darker. The wind blew harder. Faustus stood in the center of the room, waiting. Mephistopheles returned. He looked happy. "Time is almost up, Faustus. Are you ready?" Faustus said. "Please, Mephistopheles, ask Lucifer to give me more time. Just 1 more year, 1 more month, even 1 more day." Mephistopheles shook his head. "No, the contract is finished. The time has come." Faustus fell to the ground and cried, "Then let me live 1 more hour. Just an hour." The clock ticked. Half an hour, tick, tick. 10 minutes, tick, tick. 1 minute, but the clock kept moving. Suddenly the clock struck 12. Midnight, boom, boom, boom. The final hour had come. Thunder shook the sky. Fire filled the room. The floor opened. Faustus screamed, "Ah! No! Save me! I'll burn forever! Oh God, help me! I'll give up my magic! I'll do anything!" But it was too late. From the hole in the floor, devils came out, ugly, red, and full of fire. They had chains and claws. They laughed and shouted. They grabbed Faustus. "Now your soul is ours," Faustus screamed and cried. I'm sorry! But the devils pulled him down into the fire. He disappeared. The hole closed, and silence returned. When the sun rose, the scholars came into Faustus's room. They found the room broken and burned. The books were on the floor. The walls were black. The air smelled like smoke. They looked around, but Faustus was gone. On the floor, they found a piece of his cloak. Nothing else. They were silent. Then one of them said, "Let us pray for his soul. Let his story be a lesson to all." Faustus was a man with great learning. He had knowledge, fame, and power. But he wanted more than a human should have. He wanted to be like God. He chose magic over wisdom. He chose power over peace. He chose the devil over God, and in the end he lost everything, even his soul. The story of Dr. Faustus is not just about one man, it is a warning for all people. Do not give up your soul for power or pleasure. Do not forget God. Do not wait until it's too late to say sorry. In the next and final part, we will look at what this story really means, its deep message, the moral, and why it is still important in today's world. We will explore the meaning of the soul, the danger of too much ambition, the idea of forgiveness, and how Dr. Faustus became a famous story in English literature, final reflection and message. The story of Dr. Faustus is not just about magic and devils. It is about something much deeper. It teaches us about life, choices, and the human soul. Faustus was a very smart man. He had everything: education, respect, and knowledge. But he was not satisfied. He wanted more power, more control, more excitement. So he made a terrible choice. He gave his soul to the devil just to enjoy 24 years of magic. This was a big mistake. When the 24 years were over, he was full of fear. He cried. He begged. He wanted to say sorry, but it was too late. This story teaches us a very important lesson. Our choices matter. In life, we make many decisions, small and big. Some choices can change our life forever. Faustus chose power over peace. He chose magic over truth. He chose the devil over God. And in the end, he lost everything, even his soul. So this story says to us, be careful what you wish for. Think before you choose. Don't let greed and pride control your heart. Faustus was not a bad man at first. He wanted to learn. He wanted to be great, but he wanted too much. This is called ambition. Ambition is good when it helps us grow, but too much ambition is dangerous. It can blind us. It can make us forget what is right and wrong. Faustus wanted to be like God, to control the world, but humans are not God. When we try to become too powerful, we fall. So this story also says, stay humble, be thankful for what you have. Don't let ambition destroy you. One of the saddest things in the story is this. Faustus could have said sorry, but he didn't. The old man came to him. He gave him hope. He said, God is kind. He will forgive you. But Faustus was too afraid. He had no courage to pray. He listened to the devil instead of listening to his heart. This teaches us, it is never too late to say sorry until time is gone. No matter what we do, we can always ask for forgiveness. but we must ask before it is too late. Even though this story was written over 400 years ago, it is still important today. Why? Because people still want power. People still make bad choices. People still forget their values to get money, fame, or success. Many people say yes to things that are wrong, just to feel strong for a short time. But this story says, do not sell your soul for small things. Your soul is more precious than gold. So, Dr. Faustus is not just an old story. It is a warning. It is a mirror. It is a message for the heart. Dr. Faustus is one of the first and most famous tragedies in English literature. It was written by Christopher Marlowe, a great writer before Shakespeare. This story is famous because it shows the deep struggle between good and evil. It talks about big ideas in simple ways. It makes readers think about life, death, and the soul. It teaches a moral lesson that never gets old. That is why this story is studied in schools and colleges, and why people still read it after hundreds of years. Dr. Faustus had a brilliant mind, but he made a dark deal. He wanted power, but he lost peace. He wanted magic, but he lost his soul. And in the end, he learned a very hard truth. Without God, all the power in the world means nothing. Let this story be a light for us, so we walk the right path. Let it remind us, choose wisely, stay humble, always have hope, and never wait too long to say sorry.